Okay, well, good morning. So today I am going to try to make an art journal, something I can draw in. And I've got this Bristol vellum paper that I bought in bulk, about a ream of 500 sheets. And so anyways, I'm going to attempt to make a book that's going to be exactly half. This is 8.5 by 11, so I'm going to make it exactly half. And these are the supplies I think I need. So we'll see how this goes. Obviously I'm going to have scissors. I have a couple of different sizes of needles. With the eye is a different size, and the tip of this one is different than these. The reason for that is because I'll be, making the holes. So I'm thinking I might be able to use this one to make the holes, and then use one of these other three to weave the thread through the holes. I am going to use this, I believe it's polyester thread, called Sulky. It's old, made in Germany, 100% viscose. I don't know what that word is. But anyways, it came from a sewing box that I got from a yard sale. Oh, it says right here, 100% rayon. Okay, so I'm going to use this thread, and because it's very thin, I'm going to use some of this that I have from some yarn. It has no stretch to it. It's not like a fiber yarn. This one's more of a thread. It's kind of like a floss is actually what it reminds me of the embroidery floss. So this is what I'm going to use because I have a lot of it. And we'll see how that works out. But anyways, it's going to be that and this together. And then the paper, and of course a thimble to help push the needle through. I have a ruler to give me the creases, the scissors, and I'm going to use this manila folder as the outside so that I can give it more firmness. Now I have, I believe I have 16 groups of 4, 16 plus 2, one for each side for the outside. So 16 plus 2, so I have a total of 18 sheets here. And I have my Fisker cutter, so I'll be cutting this manila folder down. And I think I have Elmer's glue, and I'm not sure what I'm going to put on top of this, so we'll have to wait and see. And I think that's everything for right now. If it's not, you'll find out when I find out. So, to get started, hopefully you can see all that. And let's get started. Okay, another thing that I wanted to include in this was, it's a little magnifying glass, but it's got the same edge as one of those, what do they call it, a bone? Anyways, I'm using this to crease the folds. All right, and I believe that is everything. I have my coffee and I'm ready to go. So let's see how this works out. If I have any issues, you will get to see it at the end, probably, or when I edit it. So anyway, so those are the 4 needles I'm going to use, or possibly put them over here to the side, everything off to the side. The length of yarn or thread, I'm not quite sure, so let me measure that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I measured out 4 feet of both the thread and one of the floss threads from this DK yarn. So I just took one of these little flosses out. So I've got 1 floss and 1 strand of thread, and they're 4 feet long, and I think I'm going to need 1 for each set of 4. So I'll cut the other ones later as I need them, but I'm thinking as they get weaved through the paper. I've only watched a few videos, so I might have to watch a video to refresh my memory, since I haven't watched a bookbinding video for only about 2 months, 3 months. I have eclectic interests, so I watch cobblers, I watch bookbinders. Yes, I watch all kinds of stuff. But the bookbinder I watch, that I enjoy watching, is DAS. I like watching him. So he's fun to watch. But anyways, I would recommend him if you're looking to watch bookbinding. For me, it's totally new. But anyways, I digress. So I'm going to move forward and fold all of these. I'm just going to simply fold them in half. You know, fold them in half. They're pretty thick, so I'm going to fold them in half, and then I am going to crease them with this. So just as we go, just like that. And instead of boring you with all of that, I'm going to just do them, and I'll be right back. Okay, as I'm going along, I've noticed that this little thing, the magnifying glass, I don't know if you can see, but it's got a little bit of a, is that concave or convex texture or shape. As you can see, it's got this rounded edge and a flat edge. I've noticed that as I'm using it with the rounded edge towards the paper, it's going through quite nicely, as opposed to what I did earlier. I believe it was on the flatter edge, and it kind of got hung up on the fold. So I will be using the rounded edge of this to make that crease, so, which, you know, is a helpful piece of information. Okay, so So now I have all of the pages done. Let me double check the number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I do have 18, which is good, because that's what I want. Now at this stage, I have to poke the holes in there. So I did forget, because I do need something that's going to be used as a template for the holes. I don't know if I can use this, because this looks to me like it's going to be just, because I'm going to have to account for the width of the book and then the edge. And if I make it long, it's not a big deal, because I have a paper cutter and I can cut the edge off. So that's not a problem. I'm going to make it, I would rather make it too long and too wide than to make it too short. And I have seen that done before. So anyways, it's going to have the back and it's going to have the front, I believe, because I'm thinking, or maybe not, because how am I going to attach it to this here? How will I attach it if this is, see, so now I'm already at my first dilemma. So if I use this as the binder along the edge, I'll have to look it up and see what I can come up with, because my plan was to actually use this as the whole casing and then put something, you know, like a contact paper or maybe a nice piece of fabric glued onto it. But I'm having to rethink that now. So let me see what I can come up with, and I'll be back. Okay, so at this stage, I have got my template for the punching of the holes on the paper. So I decided where I wanted it, and I noticed that a lot of the videos had groups of 6 holes. So I'm going to try that. I'll have to mark each one, and then I will use something to poke the holes into. I thought I'd use a magazine as my background, so I can just do it that way. And I'm not sure if I should do one at a time or if I should do multiples, because this paper is somewhat thick. So I will try both, one at a time, and I'll try 2 at a time, see how that works. They're going to be in groups of 4. So maybe I'll try 2. So that's pretty thick. Let's just see how that would work. So if I go, I think it goes on the inside. I'll put it on the inside of the paper like this. Line it up like that, and take the larger needle that has the hole in it, and then just poke. Now, I know that this is a very small needle. I'm feeling that it's going to be pretty small. Never mind the fact that it's the board. The paper, the magazine on the back is not going to work. So I'm going to have to get something else, because this is magazine is too hard. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I found this, and I think this will work just fine. marker. And I'm using the blunt needle because the other one was too small. So, and if I were to do more of these, I would probably get an awl, but I don't plan on doing more. At least not at this time. I plan on just doing one art or sketchbook, drawing book, journal, whatever you want to call it. Like that. And then you can see right through it. So, and I will continue, and I will be back when I have them all finished. Okay, so I started with 2 pages at a time, and that was fairly easy. And then I tried 3, and that was much more difficult to do that with that needle. And this is my last page here. Get that in there. And so this is just one of my journeys. I might have had that. So mine might be off a little bit because I have a little bit of an overcut on that. And since it's a little bit of an overcut, they might be on an angle. But you know what? Again, this is just an art journal. I believe this paperweight is 80, I think. I'll get that for the next video or by the end of the video. I bought the paper on Amazon, and it's a smooth vellum paper that has a texture, which I like. I picked it, and I'm using it for mostly colored pencils. But I've been into tangling, so who knows what I'm going to put in this. I'm exploring the watercolors as well. So we'll see what I end up doing with this. But anyways, so that's that part of it. I do recommend that you get more of a blunt, maybe this is a needle point. So I do needle point, kind of cross stitch needle point. This is for that on Ada cloth. But you could probably try a tapestry needle. An embroidery needle is just a little bit too small. So that's what this is. This is it. Not embroidery. This is kind of cross stitch. Anyways, so that's where I went with that. And then I just got a piece of wax and I threaded the needle, and then I put the I ran the wax through it. So I have that all ready. So now I just need to line everything up and move forward. And we'll continue. Okay. All right, so today is the rest of the book that I'm making. When I left, I had the papers folded, and I was punching the holes. And since I'm not instructing individuals on how to make a book, I just decided that I would go in and do it, and put a link for a couple of them. DAS, bookbinding, I believe is what he's called. He has some really great, really great videos. So I'll try to find that link. He does like five different types of bindings. in one video. He just shows you. But anyways, he shows how to do all this stuff. So anyways, I took my, I guess they're called signatures. That's what he said. The bundles of pages. Anyways, I took those and I poked the holes in with a template. And then I got colored thread. This is actually thread and floss together. And I did the end in kind of a decorative pattern, because I'm not sure if I'm going to even cover this, because remember, this is just a art journal. I'm not keeping it for, you know, ever. I'll probably end up taking it apart and putting new pages in later on. So, just something for me to carry around. Okay, so I did this, and, you know, obviously the pages aren't even, because when you fold pages, they're not going to be even, right? When you fold them, they get kind of messed up. You can see that right there. But because of that, you know, it makes it uneven on the outside here. But I kind of like that feeling. If you don't like the feeling, then you're going to have to trim it. But I like the more, it has more of an organic feeling. This, I mean, this doesn't feel like I bought it from a store. And that's my goal. Okay, so that part is finished. I have the little end piece, which is just one that's folded, and on that is what I'm going to put the this is just from a manila folder. I'm just going to glue that with some Elmer's glue. And I got some pieces of cardboard to use to spread out, because I can't find my brushes right now. So I'm going to glue this on here, and then I will have it done. And then I'm thinking about putting some, you know, some art on the front of it, like maybe some tangles. I could do a decoupage. Really, I could just lay a whole, let's see, all my few that I have so far. A few of those. That one's sideways like that, and then, you know, put something in here. And I've got little short ones that I've done. And let me put that one underneath. Something to that effect, like, you know. Something like that. I mean, I can do that, or I can put on another cover. This is from a what they used to call them peachy folders. It's just a folder. That's the pocket. And I've used other parts of it for other stuff. But I love the texture. I love the texture on it. And I thought about using this, but I don't have enough left of this one to put on here, because I'd have to cut that edge. But I don't have enough to do both sides. So, but that would look very, very nice also. And the texture's great. And then if I do that, then I can just do some tangles on the front of that and see where that goes. But that's an idea too. So, you know, when you reusing or using something that you have a little bit of something left over, I mean, I think this is pretty nice. It's durable, but then again, so is this. This is just as durable. So you want a blank surface with no texture, or do you want a colored surface with a texture? I also was thinking about maybe putting a piece of fabric on the back side here to cover this up, but I'm not wanting to do that, I don't think. I'm thinking I want to leave it. And I think another thing that I want to do is, once I get this glued on, I think I'm going to take maybe the edge of a nail file and just score around the edges to soften this so that it's not such a sharp edge, because then I'll enjoy that feeling. But anyway, so at this point we're just gluing on these covers. I've got myself some scrap paper, not trying to advertise, and I've got the glue, and I'm just going to spread this out. What is this one? This is all-purpose glue. I want to go right to the edges, obviously. I know I've watched some people that were saying that they waited too long before to put the piece of paper or the cover, and so I don't want to make that mistake. I get a scrap piece of paper here to put in between. Move this off to the side. I think that'll hold it. And then put that on. And I think I need something like a paper towel to that will take care of that. know some people were talking about folding it over as well on theirs, but I'm not doing that. And is there a top or a bottom? I don't know. So that's that part. And then we're gonna from that get another paper and do this one. Now, I don't know if there's any particular, I know there's supposed to be certain glues that you work with that are archival, but again, this is just a journal, you know, art journal for me to draw in. I'm not looking for archival. Yeah, this is personal use. So that's me. Okay. If you want something archival, you can research the type of glue that you would want to use. I think I use way too much. I think getting control of the glue would be the, you know, using the glue, control of using the glue is like a big deal. That's gotta be the hardest part. Okay, so now that is going to get set aside and weighted on, put some weight on it, and see how that goes. Cut a piece of paper here. If it sticks, it sticks. Become part of the art. Okay, so I'll be back when that has dried. Okay, so at this stage, I have let it sit. I had a heavy weight on top of it in between two pieces of paper, and I had it sitting there for about 3 hours. So I think it seems dry. It looks good. It's pretty flat. Glue there. That's okay. Like I said, I'm probably going to draw on this or something. And oops, got a little bit of a stickiness going on here. There we go. There we go. Trying to get it off here without tearing it. There we go. Okay, so, well, pretty happy about it. It's going to be just a great place for me to just do some drawing. I'm excited about it. Of course, you know, being the first one, obviously, it was difficult. But it was fun. So maybe getting a better thread. I did use wax, by the way, on the thread to get it to go through everything easier. So that was good. I just got a piece of candle and used that. So I'm going to now just leave it as is, let it completely dry, and then I'm going to just maybe do some artwork on it. And I still think that I'm going to, you know, maybe just file the edges, but I'm going to wait on that and see how it goes, because I don't want to start filing it while it's damp, and I don't want to, you know, once I start doing it, I won't be able to change my mind. So, but anyways, so that's just the simple task of making an art journal. My supplies I already had. My time I have plenty of. I'm reusing a manila folder, and I used a piece of floss yarn that's not fibrous, and a piece of poly or rayon thread together to give it some strength, and that's it. So glad you joined me, and if you thought this was interesting, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're wanting to join my journey, then subscribe. I'll be happy to say hi to you. All right, and if you have any comments, please leave them in the section below, and I will see you next time.